New Hampshire Motor Speedway up in the New England area. We welcome you in tonight as we get ready for round number 18 of this Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series season. It has been a wild one, and we are in for an exciting race tonight on the Magic Mile, a track that Bob Bear, the late Bob Bear, built and basically told all of his team members that we're going to train you like they train them down at Disney World, which of course the Magic Kingdom and stuff. And because of that, this track was known as the Magic Mile, and that is where we are tonight. It is round number 18 of this FEG Xfinity Series season as we welcome you into New Hampshire Motor Speedway virtually on iRacing. I am the Captain, Chris Scala. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, on Facebook, or even over on the Facebook page of the Sim 500 League, you are joining us here this evening for round number 18 of the series. So we appreciate you again for joining us this evening. Let's take a look at the points, most importantly, and how it looks right now after round number 1. You're going to see a lot of movement here as Pedro Mojica, of course, picked up the win last week in Atlanta. Richard Beasley jumped all the way up from 16th to 2nd. He's 9 points out. Josh Adams, Tommy Ryan, Jimmy Coleman. The notable name is down there in 13th, Daniel Falkingham, who fell all the way down with his rough finish. Well, let's add to the roughness a little bit here. He's not here tonight because he actually went to the real race this afternoon, so he's going to be missing this race. So he is looking at a very big margin of loss probably coming into tonight, but the good news is he only has to get to the top 12 to get into the next round. So we'll see how that all works out, how the points play out, and so on and so forth. You see down at the bottom, E.J. O'Rourke, Josh Parker. Those two did not make the race last week, and I don't think they're here tonight either. So their chances of making the next round right now, unfortunately, not looking too good when it's all said and done. Of course, those are the points right now, though, the laps. And this is for the battle for the FEG Big Prize this season, which is that CSL Direct Drive wheel with Fanatec. Josh Adams still leads it by 2 laps over Chad Coleman. A little bit of a bigger gap now, down to 3rd with Charles Woods. Daniel Falkingham is there, Chuck Sweeting, and Pedro Mojica. Those guys all within 104 laps of Josh Adams. So we're going to keep it kind of minimal when it comes to the battle now, because it looks like it's coming down to these guys right here in these last 9 laps to decide who is going to get the big prize when it is all said and done. So it looks like cars are going out on track for qualifying. Let's go on down there and join them on the track. And looks like I saw the first one going out was Eric Arnold in the 31. So let's go to him and see what's going on. There is the 31 right there. And he will set the bar this time by what the drivers will have to run. Oh, and never mind. He's going to get loose, so this lap won't count at all. As a matter of fact, oh, yeah, he's pretty much done when it comes to qualifying. Spins it out, unfortunately. So, who's next on the list? Let's go Anthony Callentoni, the 84 car. Nobody set a lap yet so far. He gets loose off the corner. Callentoni, I guess you would say the home track of his sponsor, the Jersey Cigar Lounge. Or not the home track. I guess that would be more Dover. Have we ran? Yeah, we ran Dover earlier this year. So, you know how it is. It's like Martin Truex Jr. He's from Jersey. He's got like 150 different hometowns. Callentoni with a lap of 31.4. It's actually second behind this guy right here, Mike Kelly. Kelly in the red number 2. The Verizon Ford gets a little slideways there up turn 3 and 4. The Mustang brings it off. Keeps it off of the wall, I believe, there. And going to be a slower lap, 31.06. For him as Charles Woods jumps P2, 31.12. Good lap for him. Still waiting to see the car that was fastest in practice jump on track. And when I tell you who that was, you're going to be caught off guard. As Eric Arnold goes to the pole, 30.9. I guess I didn't think about it. He didn't cross the line to complete lap 1 to go to lap 2. So because of that, well, he got to run that second lap. I didn't even think of that. a great lap there for Eric Arnold. As Eric still sits there. And Mohican at the top now. Mohica 30.7, Tyler Dalton at 30.8. Unfortunately, the ticker's not cooperating with me right now. Josh Adams 30.9 up to P4 right now. Glenn Campbell 30.6. Not sure why it's exactly not cooperating on the screen. It's cooperating on my end, but some reason on the main screen doesn't seem to be working too well. As Adams, Mike Kelly, they're the top 5 right now. Randy Yoakum, Campbell. Chad Coleman jumps up to 6. I'm still waiting to see if the driver who was fastest in practice is going to come out and run a lap. That was Chuck Sweeting, who ran a 30.68 earlier, which would actually, I believe, put him on the pole, actually. Jack my wheel over here. And there we go. That's where we sit right now, as we have less than 20 seconds left in qualifying. So Chuck Sweeting's actually not even going to run a lap when it's over with. And it appears that the momentum is going to carry over for Pedro Mojica. A 30.77 is going to put him on the pole. So congratulations to him, and we'll get ourselves ready to race here in just a moment. That 1 minute warm up. But what we'll do right now is let's get our pole sitter and the winner from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Let's bring him up here with me real quickly. Pedro, great lap, man. Congratulations on the pole. The momentum is carrying. How's the car feeling in practice so far?
It feels good the first couple laps, and then it gets tight as you go through the run. So managing that right front's going to be important, and making sure you're not. It's inviting to toss the car in the corner, So you're going to have to watch for that and managing the right front. I think whoever does that best will probably be the car to beat. So we're going to try to do that the best we can. I mean, I don't know how I did that lap, to be honest. That was I'll take a quote from this past weekend's race, a unicorn on the track. I found it and hit the lap of my life because I was not able to even get anywhere close to that in practice. So
maybe it's a horseshoe thing.
Yeah, I might have. So yeah, no, we'll take it. Like I said, these kind of tracks I'm not as good at, but we'll take the track position. Hopefully, we can hang on and compete for the win, or at least get a good run.
I was going to say, how tricky is it going to be to keep that car on the right rear coming through the corner, especially as it gets tighter?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it didn't feel too bad. I was fighting more of the tight, but yeah, I mean, if you're underneath somebody or racing somebody, yeah, you're gonna have to watch out for that. Getting that snap loose late exit. So that could be something to watch for in the race here.
All right, go grid before you miss the start.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, buddy. It's pole sitter Pedro Mojica, the 58 car, going to start P1. Congratulations to him as we get him down to his team name channel and take a look at the starting lineup for the race. It is Pedro Mojica. Tyler Dalton almost went for 3 in a row pole-wise, not able to do so this evening. Brian Macklin will start alongside the Eric Arnold machine. Eric looking pretty quick so far this afternoon. Josh Adams, Justin Fuller, they'll take row number 3. Row 4, Mike Kelly and Chad Coleman. Chad looking to have a good run here. Tommy Ryan, Randy Yoakum, coming off a top 3 last week in Atlanta. He will start there in the 10th position. Row 6, Jimmy Coleman and Glenn Campbell. Row 7, Charles Woods and Anthony Callentoni. Jeff Ryan, Bob Gillenwater, row number 8. Row 9 is where you see David Comstock. Good to see him back alongside Kevin DeBrown. Richard Beasley coming off a top finish last week in Atlanta. Chuck Sweeting was fastest in practice, so we'll see if he can carry it into the race. Scott Stenzel, Joey Jattina, row number 11. On to row 12, John Mustin Jr. and Ron Holyfield. And that is going to complete the... Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button again. I thought I was going to complete the grid. Tom Dreiling, Doug Sigmund, and Brian Wortman, Gerald Livingston will complete the field of 28 cars that'll come off turn number 4 and go 130 laps tonight. 65 the halfway point, and of course bonus points will be given away and so on and so forth. Dalton and Mohica almost hit each other as they come to the green flag from the Granite State. Of course, our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online, on Facebook, and on the iRacing forums, I guess would be the better word to use. How about TrackCams22.com? You can check out their website also. You see the 51 jump topside there. As off of turn 4, it will be Pedro Mojica leading lap 1. Tyler Dalton jumping topside there. A very tough track to pass at. Forgive me, you're going to see cars changing paint schemes here because I just realized I'd never had the app open for, I guess you can call it Trading Paints, but it's more of the Better Trading Paints app is what I use here. So forgive me as you see the paint schemes maybe swap over just a little bit here. As Mojica, Dalton, now Fuller already up 3 spots in that 51 car. I know one Fuller back in the day that used to run here, Jeff Fuller, a former Busch North driver. Of course, anytime I see the name Fuller in New Hampshire, I think of Jeff Fuller from back in the day. Mike Kelly there in the 2 car. He was pretty fast in practice. Eric Arnold outside. This track progressive banking down there where Kelly's left sides were flat. Exactly 0 degrees of banking that goes up to 12, I believe it is, up into the corner. Or actually, I'm sorry, it's 9 degrees. So a little bit of separation there. That's where it allows that top groove and even middle groove to come into play. They worked their way down the back straightaway, a lot different than what we've seen in Atlanta last week. But the drafting and stuff now, it's all about handling and taking care of that right front, keeping it under you the whole entire race. Ride with Kelly here to 2, the Bryson Ford. 6th position for him so far. Brian Wortman with a pit stop. Not sure. Oh, he must have almost hit the pit road cone or something. And that triggered him to almost to go to pit road. How much you're off the throttle, just got to roll through the corner there, kind of de-wedge the car there, try to get it loose off. Problem is, you got to clear that car or else he's going to get the run back down the straightaway here 6 laps in. Mojica not able to get away from Dalton yet, still about a 1/10 of a second, and then 2/10 back to Fuller. It's about a second to Macklin. This gaggle of cars right here, about 7 deep. So Kelly does clear Arnold for the position. Why that just popped up on the screen, I have no clue. So top 3 have pulled away. And then you got this battle here. All the way back to about Jimmy Coleman there in the 10th position. He's got Glenn Campbell, Randy Yoakum back here. Last week's runner-up finish, I believe, here for Richard Beasley. He's inside of Jeff Ryan, who's already got some left rear damage on that 3. Tom Dreiling there behind him in the 23 car. And Richard just slowly going to try to work his way up through the field. You're not going to gain all the track positions in one lap here. It's a racetrack that you just got to be patient and take what is handed to you. Nine laps complete. You see Dalton looking topside here on Mojica. Mojica exactly picking up right where he left off last week. That win in Atlanta, getting himself a great head start into getting to the second round, the round of 12. Kelly here so far. Pass for second. Fuller on the move, up 4 spots already. That 51 not playing any games here. Stalling on a little bit coming off the corner. Otherwise, looking pretty smooth, I'd say, in that 51 car so far. Uh-oh, issues for Richard Beasley. Off the track he is. So far, no caution. I don't want to say I gave him the broadcasters jinx, but Beasley did have some issues. Sounds like maybe some contact. Let's go back and see. Oh, Dreiling. Beasley does a good job locking it down. Only hits the cone, so shouldn't be any damage at all on that tide ride, other than track position. That could have been a very bad situation. Forgive me, is my live button is not working, so it's going to show a replay here for a second as it keeps going. Little issues here and there sometimes when you're live on the air. It happens. There we go. I did a broadcast a little bit ago. I had an internet issue during a broadcast last night. First time I've ever had that happen at this house I've been at. And when you rerun a broadcast for some reason, or redo a live broadcast, it some reason will not let me live after, look at this mess, later on for the second race. So I should have reset and I didn't think about it. I don't do this often like that. That's Dreiling making a pass on Jeff Ryan. That's the 19th position for the 23, so move him up a spot. As these guys battle back here, I see Holyfield is in that battle back there. I thought I saw the one. I did. He's back in 25th right now. Ron was getting some advice as much as he could. And speaking of advice, Bob Gillenwater, who definitely was doing a lot of learning here. He was here at the start of practice, which was at 7:30 Eastern. And he went to work, was asking questions. I was trying to help him as much as I could, because I don't mind helping people. And I've run a few B Open races this week here. And definitely had learned a lot around this track in this car. Not a combo I've run an awful lot of. You see Gillenwater making the pass. He's got Kevin DeBrown trying to follow him in. Chuck Sweeting, who's the fastest car in practice. He's all the way back there in the 17th position. As you saw the 13, a Comstock, look like maybe hit the wall just a little bit. But so far, so good here in these first 17 laps of action. Watching Fuller, keeping an eye on him right now. Keeping an eye on this battle back here for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Josh Adams running a W paint scheme. I don't know who W is. No clue. Eighth position right now for Josh. Heard some talk actually a little bit ago during practice. Some people were like, do you think we'll shift here later? I'm like, outside of, you know, the next gen cars, I wouldn't think we'd be shifting at New Hampshire. Eric Arnold falling back into the hands of Chad Coleman. That's the sixth place battle right in front of Adams. The Voodoo Graphics and Designs. We're going to combine complete 20 laps. It has been Pedro Mojica up front, but Jeff Fuller is all over him. Tommy Ryan there to 99, sliding up close to that 31. You got to be very careful. Very easy to do at this track is to enter low and kind of slide up into that other car. You do not want to do that, because the next word you're going to hear is somebody calling you a name and the word caution. I've already been called 2 names this weekend for those keeping record. And no, neither of them were nice. But I totally deserved it. Appreciate it by joining us here this evening. Of course, it is the FEG Xfinity Series, which all season long has been presented by the Ford Entertainment Group. Of course, if you haven't heard of them by now, you know they create computers for both sim racing and for flight sims. They are giving away up. Never mind, caution is out. We'll come back to that in a second. Ron Holyfield has spun it around into one car, front straightaway. And first caution is out at lap number 22. Here at New Hampshire. Let's go back and see what happened to the number 1 car. Got Scott Stenzel there in front of him. My guess is he goosed it a little bit. Oh, no, he got a little help. Stenzel got the wall, and ouch. Not a hard lick, it looks like, but I don't see much damage on that one at all. But he might have tagged it hard enough to where I don't see much damage at all on that one. He might be okay. Hopefully he didn't hit the engine. But let's see if we get cars on pit road here. I'm expecting so. You do get 3 sets of tires. A little early, might see some fuel strategy here. Obviously, you can't easily make it till halfway on the fuel, so let's see if anybody goes tires here. See Fuller's car lifted up, Mojica's car's lifted up, so it looks like tires going on. They're expecting some more green flag racing here, it looks like. More tires and fuel for everybody. Race off pit road. Mojica over Fuller, it looks like. All right. All right, caution number 1 out on track. We'll come back. We'll come back and get you more racing here from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway as you're watching the Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series here on the Captain Esports Network.
This is your chance to get behind the wheel. The opportunity to race just like the pros. From the grassroots levels, where we all got our start, to the most popular race cars on the planet. From the fairgrounds of Nashville to the high banks of Daytona, to tracks that will never be forgotten. Realistic driving, intense competition, all from the comfort of your own home. This is the ultimate motorsports simulation. This is iRacing.
All right, back we are. Virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway about to go green. Round number 18 of this FEG Xfinity series. The Captain Esports Network as Mojica leads them back to the green. Lap number 25. Fuller, Dalton, Coleman, Macklin, your top five. Dalton looked like lost a few positions there on pit road. 19 and back to the 5th position after running P3 there. He's going to lose that spot to Macklin, so Macklin actually going to hold on to 4th here with Dalton 5th and then Kelly right there behind him in the 2 car. And Tom Dreiling with some issues, it appears. Dreiling actually taking the bike road course at New Hampshire back on the track. Not saying I've not done that once or twice, taking the road course that way if needed to. Let's see what happened to the 23 real quick. Got the Mustian car there. He was outside. Mustian going to tag the outside wall, even try to climb it, and then Dreiling, oh, hold on. And spins it right onto the road course section before he goes out to the outfield of the track, if you've never watched a bike race here. No harm, no foul, caution not out. As I was starting to say before I was rudely interrupted by caution, is that the FEG group, Ford Entertainment Group, they create sim flight gaming machines and sim racing machines. They have about over 3,500 built so far for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with a front to back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. So thank you to the Ford Entertainment Group for what they do for this league. Of course, they're giving away that Fanatec CSL Direct Drive wheel. And they're giving away that wheel to the person who completes the most laps this season. As you see, Bob Gillenwater, Randy Oakham, that's a battle for position. Back here, Bob in the 13th position, up 3 spots from where he started. Oh, Bob gets into Randy there a little bit. That's a little New Hampshire racing right there, I'd say. Chuck Sweeting going to go with him now. See if Chuck drives it in there and slides it up. And Chuck not able to clear yet, but Gillenwater just mentioning as I'm listening to Chad here in my earphones, actually there's a bump down at 3 and 4 that can actually make your car go up the track a little bit, up into that car and you're outside. And he basically said, hey, my bad, that's exactly what happened. Nothing was said back, but either way, we continue on. Jeff Fuller picking up where he left off, or Jeff Fuller, I knew I was going to do that. Justin Fuller picking up where he left off. I've done it a few times, actually, to this man. There's Mojica looking back at that Ford Mustang. And Chad Coleman there, also the Georgia driver, up 5. He's in 3rd. Mojica said in the interview, when I talked to him before the race, he said, hey, I just got to keep these tires under me because that right front could get to screaming. And you do not want to make that thing mad and have it plowing up the track, because then all of a sudden you're going to start free falling through this field. He's done a pretty good job for the most part with keeping that from happening. Glenn Campbell there, Kevin DeBrown. Kevin up 6 spots, 12th position right now. Matter of fact, all of our biggest gainers in the race are up 6 spots. Kevin DeBrown up 6 from 18th to 12th. You've got Livingston back in 22nd. He's up from dead last to 22nd. Those two, the biggest gainers. That just shows you how tough it is to pass here when you've only gained 5 or 6 spots in 35 laps. And I believe John Mushton Jr. has some issues. Off turn number 2, he's going to tow it to the pits. He stayed in the grass, so no caution. So no caution as Mushton unfortunately has a black screen, it sounds like, which you never want while you're in a race. You don't want a pop-up happening, and you don't want the black screen. Those two things stink. And there's other things that can obviously happen too when you're racing, but those are probably the worst, because then you feel terrible if you take somebody out, which Mushton in his case took himself out, which is the unfortunately the best thing you could probably do. As Josh Adams looks bottom here on Kelly, maybe going to get in there, not able to. Of course, if you remember, this track was built back in the early 90s, was a flat 1 mile oval like it is now, but at that time only had one banking, and I believe it was, if I remember correctly, 6 degrees in the corners. And you ran right down on that yellow line the whole entire time. And then, of course, Bruton Smith and his group came in, bought the track, and did some modifications to it, especially after the 2 tragic accidents in 2000 that happened at this track with Adam Petty and Kenny Irwin Jr. Of course, at that time, they brought restrictor plates and put them on the cars because they felt like there was an issue with throttle sticking. So they tried to slow the cars down, and that turned into Jeff Burton's leading all 300 laps in a race in 2000 here. And then, of course, they modified the track, did all different types of things. They put in the whole, I forget what the button is called that pretty much shuts the engine off, like an emergency shut-off, so to say. What the name is off the top of my head here. But from there, it's been some pretty good racing here at New Hampshire throughout the couple of years here. Of course, they run here once now. They used to run twice for a little bit. Some call it a big short track. Look at this, Adams going topside on Kelly. So I'm going to do this the hard way, which is actually the preferred groove, is this top groove, right about there. You can do that and somehow diamond it off the corner. You can get a run. But it's not the easiest thing to do. You want to stomp on the throttle coming off the corner. As Tommy Ryan drives in there to turn 3. The 99 car running 8th right now. But I appreciate the viewers. If you're watching so far, you can hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you're new watching us on Twitch, or if you're on Facebook watching us, appreciate you guys' support. As a few weeks ago, went over 700 subscribers. Actually kind of stalled out number-wise. I remember I was climbing pretty good for a little bit, and then it kind of stalled, and here we are now. So I'm still appreciative of all the viewers. I don't care how quick it goes up, if it goes down, whatever. You know, we're here for the viewers and for the leagues that we get the broadcast for. I'm just thankful to be able to enjoy this and have a good old time. And hopefully I'm not too boring. Glenn Campbell getting roughed up a little bit by Kevin DeBrown. And then Bob clobbers him afterwards. Slides up, or slides back, I should say, 1 position there after the contact. And up front, we got a new leader. Justin Fuller has gone by Mojica. I was keeping track of it over on the side. It just happened. And let's go back to it. Oh, you see Fuller's back in. Oh, he gets almost into Mojica. Got in there real deep. I think Pedro gave it to him. He's like, man, you want it that good. You can tell. Oh, look at that. Even turning her sideways off the corner. Hands and feet on the wheel. He wanted that lead badly. So Fuller becoming the second leader of the race as Mojica falls back to second. Trying to watch all passing and stuff. Show passes. You guys want good racing? We're going to give you good racing. Sweeting inside of Yoakum there. That Gator Racing 57. Great job of entering the corner there on Randy. I was waiting for him to slide up. He decided not to, which is okay. I see my new guys are showing up here tonight watching. Appreciate the All-American ARCA Series, which we're going to be covering on Friday night starting in 2 weeks. I'll let you guess the first race of the season. So Fuller's pulled away, 7/10 on Mojica, who's got 3/10 on Coleman. Macklin there at 4. Tyler Dalton still holding on to the top 5 as everybody's kind of strung out here a little bit as we're about 19 laps from the halfway point, which of course will give away bonus points. 10-1 all the way down from 1st to 10th. Almost like stage racing, but the halfway bonus, we'll call it. Anthony Callentoni underneath the postman for position. No, don't hit each other, boys. Let's behave now. Couple Camaros. Joey Jattina, who's had his struggles in practice. He's out here just doing his best here tonight. On the back straightaway into turn 3. You got to be very careful entering turn 3. There are some bumps as you get to the corner because, as I mentioned earlier, the road course that is here at New Hampshire, it's a bike course for like the MotoGP and those guys, actually goes outside the racetrack on the back straightaway. And if you've ever been in like an intersection or something, you notice that the road kind of waves a little bit because of people just driving. It kind of wears in the asphalt and stuff. That's kind of what it's like right there. You see the cars kind of bounce a little bit. Oh, Jattina was getting into Charles as they pass the Brian Wortman mobile. As we jump up here, this battle for the 5th position starting to pick up here. Mike Kelly trying to hold off Tommy Ryan. There's Tommy in the Virginia811.com car. Put 50 laps in the books next time by. Adams there behind him, and then there's Jimmy Coleman. 9th position, Eric Arnold there at 10th. Guys separated out by a couple tenths, really, amongst the group. So, of course, the final race of the round of 18 here in the Sim 500 FEG Xfinity Series. That'll wrap up next week at Pocono Raceway. 60 laps next Sunday night. And go to Indianapolis where we'll run the oval at the Brickyard. That'll be coming up here in 2 weeks on the 31st of July, and we'll go into the month of August as Tommy Ryan tries to slide up on Mike Kelly, not able to do so. And finally, Will Clear with Josh Adams behind him to move Tommy up to the 6th position. Tommy and Mike Kelly battle. You see Josh Adams now coming into the picture here. So great racing up here in the top 10. See Adams to the inside now of Kelly's got Jimmy Coleman there behind him, and then Eric Arnold about a second or so back, 10th position here. Good fighting going on. As you see, Tommy is kind of pulled away a little bit, so just shows you that Mike might be struggling with a tight race car here. How tough it is to pass is where Adams is having that hard time getting by, as Ron Holyfield's on pit road for an unscheduled pit stop for him. Adams has made the pass on Coleman for position. Got that battle going on. Randy Yoakum inside of Callentoni back here at the 14th position. Watching this good battle here as Josh Adams now going to get underneath Kelly as they continue to fight it out. This is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th as Coleman slides up behind Kelly. So yeah, Mike is definitely fallen off a little bit here. Not sure if his car's probably getting really tight. Let's go on board with this too and see. Yeah, look at that hand. That's turning. When your right hand is sitting at 90 degrees, that is never a good thing. On entry, that's another battle. You got those brakes, got them sitting too low, and create an issue to where your car gets loose on entry and can try to spin out on you. And not to mention that right front damage. I can see a little crinkle above the wheel. That's probably not helping the handling on this car. So issues for Tyler Dalton. I've noticed he has fallen back a couple spots. It's a 6 since the restart, back 4. I think he's more just kind of minding his P's and Q's right now, just going to try to get what he can get. And let's look at third, because Macklin and Coleman are battling now. Chad's going to give it to him. So Brian Macklin, who missed last week's race, but the previous race at Daytona went to victory lane, is picking up where he left off here. Taking the 3rd position, that 30 car. So that's Supra looking pretty sporty, I'd say. Or should we say looking pretty Supra. We are 5 laps away this time by from bonus points being given away, and it is Justin Fuller up front by 1.3 over Pedro Mojica, Brian Macklin, Chad Coleman, Tommy Ryan, Dalton Adams, Jimmy Coleman, Mike Kelly, Eric Arnold. Your top 10 right now, and that 10th place battle could get interesting or make that the 9th place battle. As Arnold looking topside here, maybe going to try to cross him over off the corner. Not able to do it. Great racing here at this Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Let's real quickly, as we get closer to this halfway point, let's pull up our pit strategy board of the top 10 drivers in the race. And of course, I always like to do this to show you the laps they pitted at, which pretty much everybody has something in common here. They all pitted on the same lap, lap 23, when that caution came out. So they're at 40 laps right now in a stint. You can go about 80 to 85 laps or so, I would say, on a tank of fuel. So these guys easily are going to probably get to around lap 100. It'll be their last stop of the race if this thing stays green. But you got to be careful because, as you know, if you're burning off that right front tire, yep, you are looking at potentially some blown tires coming in the very near future. So you got to be very careful of that when you're out here on the track at a track like the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So we'll keep an eye out as we come to 2 laps to go before the bonus points are given away. As back here, Mike Kelly and Eric Arnold for 9th, and Kelly almost slides up into Eric, but Eric's going to take the spot away up there on the top side. Kevin DeBrown about 1.2 seconds back, so I'm not sure if he's going to get to the 2 car. Of course, Mike is a playoff driver, so it's going to play a pretty big deal when it is all said and done. So here we go, final lap, and Macklin has caught the back of Pedro Mojica. As Fuller brings him down into turn 3 and 4. Justin Fuller going to come to the checkered flag, which you won't see because it's just a halfway checkered flag, which I guess is green and white technically, and get the 10 bonus points right there for winning the halfway bonus. Looks like Mojica, Macklin, Coleman, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Josh Adams, Jimmy Coleman, Eric Arnold, and Mike Kelly, the 10 drivers that'll get bonus points. So now everybody can kind of take a deep breath and go into the finish of this race as Joey Jatina comes to pit road here. So this might actually be a scheduled pit stop, maybe breaking up the race in 2s. As Fuller comes up on Dreiling to put him a lap down as you watch Macklin. It's the battle for the 2nd position right here. Macklin almost doing a little diamond. Goes topside, then brings it back down to about the middle group. You see Chad Coleman there and Tommy Ryan about 4 seconds back from the leader. This is one of the closer battles on the track. Let's jump back here to Beasley, who's trying to get back through the field here, up to 17th after his issues earlier. Sent for a little spin in turn 2, took the blue cone with him, but thankfully the blue cone is okay. It was checked and released from the infield care center. Mr. Campbell might be shifting there. I saw a little flame come out of that 44. Watch that right rear. You're not going to see it from, well, you might from this view. He would already shifted by now. As the battle for 2nd. Macklin all over the rear this 58 car. See if he can use the 23 as Dreiling as a pick here potentially. No. Oh, he's gonna split the middle here. Tom, leave some room. He's got the groove now. See if we can cross him over. Not able to do it. Great defensive move there by Mojica. So Jatina's stop was a scheduled stop, and now Macklin sends it in there. And a slider. Almost pulled him. I think Mojica more gave it to him than anything. And Brian Macklin up to second. Great way to use lap traffic there to make this pass for position as Scott Stenzel makes a pit stop. And speaking of pit stops, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to step away for a quick second, but in case you didn't notice earlier, I've kind of added a side-by-side feature in here for us. So we're going to do that. We'll step away for a quick second and come back and get you these last 58 laps of racing here from the Magic Miles. You're watching the Sim 500 series virtually from New Hampshire on the Captain Esports Network.
This is the world's premier online racing simulation. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat from your home computer with the most realistic online motorsports experience you'll find anywhere. Race virtually in the world's biggest events with officially licensed series, cars, and tracks. From the high banks of Daytona to the blistering speeds of Indianapolis, the dirt of Eldora to the world's most legendary road courses. It's all here, and with more than 180,000 people just like you already driving, you'll always have someone to race. Ready to get behind the wheel? Sign up at iRacing.com to get started.
Back we are from the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway as Justin Fuller, 1.5 seconds over Brian Macklin now. Pedro Mojica third, Chad Coleman in fourth, and I'm starting to wonder, did Pedro burn that right side off of this car? And I wonder if he might try to strategize and short pit here a little bit, because he's got Chad Coleman approaching him, but even further back, look who's approaching Chad Coleman. Here comes Tommy Ryan at 99, so again, the question going to be, when do you bring these cars to pit road? I mean, you're in the window now. You can pit for the final time. Problem is, you're going to lose that lap by pitting. So is it worth the sacrifice when it's all over with? As Coleman slides up the track, here comes Tommy. And not to mention, there's a teammate in front of Tommy, and that would be his brother. It might help him a little bit with this pass. Not that he might need it if Chad's car is falling off a little bit. Actually, Jeff's going to yield the spot to both of them. So, nicely move on his part. Let's jump back here, because here's a fight now as Mike Kelly continues to free fall. Kevin Brown moving into the 10th position, and now he's going to have Rob Gillenwater there in the 4 with him. Again, this all sets up for next week at Pocono Raceway virtually next Sunday night at 8:45 Eastern Time. We'll move the field from 18 to 12. We'll eliminate 6 drivers on points, oh, by the way. And I think we're going to hear some pit stops coming this time. And it's going to be Mike Kelly coming to pit road. Eric Arnold also coming in to 31. So green flag pit stops. Will this bring people to pit road, or will this just be a separate window potentially opening up here? Right side tires going on. Left sides, and as long as nobody speeds, you should be able to get out of here a pretty decent time. 14.6 for Mike Kelly, a 14.8 for Eric Arnold. So those two leave pit road here at 52 laps to go. Tommy Ryan, who gets that run crossover move on Coleman here. Side by side he goes. lets Tommy go for position. So Tommy up to the 4th position. While this run goes on, I'm going to keep track of some of those drivers who just took tires here on these pit stops. See what kind of speeds around here running right now compared to older tires out on the track. As you see Tyler Dalton back there getting a little loose. In fact, there's fresh tires right there. Eric Arnold. Mike Kelly's going to fly right by Josh Adams. Going to come up here on Tyler Dalton. And that's going to bring Josh to pit road here. So the 7th place car on pit road. As the 56 will come in for 4 tires and fuel. Tyler Dalton coming to pit road. Chuck Sweeting on pit road. And one side note, Macklin is catching the leader. Let's throw that in there right now too, because we might have a battle for the lead here very, very shortly. As the 19 Sim 500 car started P2 into his pit stall. Thanks to Tyler. Actually, I gotta give him a shout out. He's helped me out with this microphone a lot. If you notice I sound a wee bit different, maybe a little tuned up, I guess so to say, you can thank Tyler. 4 tires fuel and a 14.6. Good stop for him. Jimmy Coleman and Bob Gillenwater on pit road now. So here we go with the pit stops. 47 laps to go. So a lot of these cars going about 60 laps on these tires. And now you got to be careful. If you're one of those cars that stay out and you've run the car hard, you do not want to see a meatball pop on your screen, because that means you blew a right front tire. As Gillenwater and Coleman both pitting. Let's check this out here. As Macklin is caught Justin Fuller. As Holyfield on pit road, so is Randy Yoakum. The 30 gets there underneath the 51. Does he have enough grip in the tires to get off the corner? Both of them getting a little loose. Might see a slider right here. Yep, he's going to send it in. He'll probably... no. Fuller dives it in there with him. He wasn't able to pull the slider. However, Fuller gets a little tight, and the 30's going to clear him for position. So move the 30. Brian Macklin to the front as Chad Coleman comes to pit road. And there's some fresh tires going by to unlap themselves. Coleman, left side tires on the NOS Energy number 38. 14.5 for Mr. Coleman. A good stop for him. Tommy Ryan, Kevin DeBrown on pit road. This with 44 laps to go. Jimmy Coleman actually just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 31.11. I'm sure that'll get topped here in a second, because now you're going to get these cars out here on field goods, trying to get track position and so on and so forth. Richard Beasley on pit road now, so I think we've pretty much entered that cycle of pit stops. Mentioned there's Beasley on pit road. He leaves this pit stall. We still got 5 cars, the front 5 right now, have not been to pit road yet. So Macklin, Fuller, Mojica, Callentoni, and Gerald Livingston have not been to pit road yet. And then you get back to the Eric Arnold car, the Mike Kelly automobile, the Josh Adams, Tyler Dalton, your top 9. As you see, 9 on the lead lap right now. So Coleman needs to get the Macklin there so he can get his lap back, just in case something goes flying, if you know what I mean. As Gerald Livingston, I thought he was entering pit road, but it looks like he just got near the cone there and it kind of triggered him, so he's not on pit road. But here comes Pedro Mojica to pit road. Third place car is in. This should bring the leaders to pit road, I would think. Right side tires going up. And it should be 4 tires and fuel for the 58. I do not see Macklin or Fuller coming in. And you see Jimmy Coleman unlapping himself, and unfortunately Brian Wortman going a lap down. Look at Mojica come hot with them tires. Just caught him out on the left side of my the corner of my eye. Gonna blow right by Fuller. And he'll probably blow by Macklin by turn 3 and 4. Heck, how about off turn 2? Look at that. Mike Kelly was on a little bit older tires. Remember, he pitted about 5 laps before everyone else. He and Eric Arnold did, so you're going to see a little bit fresher tires making passes here as Arnold goes by. That's the 4th, or I should say Adams, sorry, that's the 5th position. And Tyler Dalton there behind him. Slides underneath there in that 19 car that's the 6th place battle right now as we still wait on the top 3 now to come to pit road. Mojica 31:07 just now, fastest lap. So the 4 cars that have not pitted so far in this run are Brian Macklin, Justin Fuller, Callentoni, who's in pit road now, and Brian Wortman. Those 4 have not been on pit road until now. Here comes Callentoni. Anthony had a top 3 at Daytona the opening weekend. It's been an up and down season pretty much the rest of the way, but he is in the playoffs and just trying to run consistent enough to be in the top 5 or top 10 when it's all over with. You get in the top 12 and move to the second round, and here come the rest of the leaders. 37 laps to go. Kind of surprised a little bit that Fuller followed Macklin in. You would think you might want to try to get him a lap earlier or a lap later to maybe jump him later with the fresher tires or undercut, but both at the same time here, so let's see what transpires. We're going to see how much track position they're going to lose here and how much the fresh tires are going to have to work through the field here. It looks like they're going to fall all the way out of the top 10 right now. All right, so the cycle pit stops officially are done, well, once Wortman pits, but Wortman unfortunately 25th right now. So here's how it looks. That is your battle for the lead right there. Yes, you're looking at 5 cars under a blanket. Josh Adams, Chad Colton, and Tommy Ryan, Eric Arnold, Tyler Dalton, all within a second of each other. Then Pedro Mojica's 1.2 back. You've got 7 cars within a second and a half. Mojica sends it down bottom side, turn 3. Great pass there. That tap out tuning number 58 looking pretty sporty. As of right now, Josh Adams trying to get away. Chad Coleman right there trying to get his first win. Tommy Ryan trying to get his first win. of turn one. Tommy drives it in there to turn one deep outside. He should get the run off the corner here. And he'll pass Coleman for second. And 99 looking sporty all of a sudden here. I would say, what do you do to that car to make it better? But you can't do anything on a fixed setup. Outside of steering ratios, but that's before the race. You can't do anything there either. Maybe brake bias. As Mojica looks inside now on Coleman. Getting very tight. 32 laps to go. Should mention Brian Macklin 4.5 back in the 9th position right now. So I'm keeping an eye on him and an eye on that 51 of Fuller, who came up through the field a little bit ago from his 6th place starting position, I believe it was. As Pedro goes past Tommy Ryan for second. All that's left now is that Josh Adams car. And if he can get the lead from him, it could be set sail. But as you know, Pedro got very tight there in the long run at the end. So who knows what can happen here with this 58, especially as he comes off turn 2 here inside the 56. Got the lap car of Ron Holyfield there in front of them. Josh has done a great job fighting. He's got that clean air on his nose. And whoever W is doing a great job there on his car. As Mojica slides up into Adams. Adams into the wall. And that gives the lead to Tommy Ryan. And Adams is going to get into the back of Pedro. See if I can find a replay of this real quick. Let's go back and see it as they settle down for a second. They were trying to go around the one car of Holyfield there. They just hit each other. And Josh wasn't happy about that move. He's going to come down to turn 3 and tell Pedro, hey, I'm not too thrilled with that move, young man. Boom. So Tommy Ryan now to the front. 2/10 on Mojica, who might be getting a little air on that spoiler now. Chad Coleman up to 3rd, Adams to 4, back to 4th now with that damage, going to lose 4th to Macklin, and there's Fuller also right there with him. How about 3 wide? How about maybe 4 wide off turn 4? Well, they thought about it. Oh, Dalton going to get hit by Fuller. Racing picking up. And you can see that crinkled up hood on the 56. So Tommy Ryan in the best position he's been in all season to go to victory lane potentially in this 99 car. Can he hold off the 58? Better yet, can he hold off those fast guys right back there? Fuller might have just tagged the wall off too. Macklin going to slide her inside here to the 38. And he'll clear Coleman for the third position, and now I should say Fuller going to come with him here. Three laps to go. And I think the only thing that could really save Tommy Ryan or Mojica right now, potentially in this battle, might be the yellow handkerchief. Top five all separated by 1.8 seconds. Tyler Dalton now 3.4 back. And Adams 4 seconds back. He's falling into the clutches of Eric Adams now. Or Eric Arnold, I should say, sorry. And Kelly 5.4 back, and then Jimmy Coleman is snuck into the top 10 here late in this race. As you know, when you get to the front, it gets harder to pass, and here we are now. Macklin and Fuller have caught the two leaders. Can they get around them? You wonder if Tommy's maybe backing up to Pedro to save the tires a little bit as these two trying to burn them off a little bit. Or Tommy might not be that fast. Who knows? I always play scenarios in my head of what could be happening. Macklin rolls the nose in there and gets to his inside. The battle for second is on. And he'll take the position, so move Brian Macklin second. And see if Fuller can get there quickly, because this could end up being a battle for the lead when it's all over with. 20 laps to go. And Mojica pulls over and gives him third. One of those where he might just understand, look, I ain't got a chance here. Let me just yield and try to not lose as much time. Kind of a Darlington-like move, I guess, should we say. As here it is, the battle for the lead is on. Macklin inside of Tommy Ryan, 19 to go. Lap car Joey Jatina there in front. He's going to clear him. So Brian Macklin back to the front. Now the question, can Fuller get past Tommy quickly? Brian Macklin looking for his second win in 3 races. After winning in Daytona, he missed last week's race in Atlanta and now has come back. Fuller clears for second, looking to go to victory lane again. However, he's got Fuller in that 51 car, looking to get himself into victory lane tonight. As they come up on Charles Woods to put him a lap down. Everybody else is pretty much spread out. We do have a little gaggle of cars as this takes a break here for a second. Let's jump back here to 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. As Josh Adams falls back into Eric Arnold's clutches, and there's Jimmy Coleman, Bob Gillenwater now into the top 10. Bob's been fighting, and I think he said something about if he got a top 10 tonight. I think he said something about going to the bathroom of laughter, something like that. It was kind of an interesting analogy. We'll just put it like that. All right, now, Bob, you're in the top 10. Appreciate all the viewers watching tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, whatever buttons you got to hit on whatever channel you're watching. If it's Facebook, if it's Twitch, if it's YouTube, if it's on the Sim 500 Facebook page. Appreciate you joining us here on the Captain Esports Network. Hit that subscribe button. As one of my old friends used to say, punch it in the face, which I never thought was nice. And I never knew a button had a face. The lead still right at about 3/10 from Macklin to Fuller. 14 to go. As Arnold tries to hold off Jimmy Coleman. Again, next Sunday night will be Pocono Raceway virtually. Here next Sunday night, 8:45 Eastern Time. To wrap up the round of 18, we'll cut 6 drivers out and go into the round of 12, which will start at Indianapolis in 2 weeks. Arnold got loose. Coleman's going to get a run here. Problem is, I think Coleman got a little free also. As up front, these two have not left each other. Tommy Ryan only about a 1.5 seconds back, and it's only about 4/10 back to Pedro Mojica. As they come up on Glenn Campbell. Campbell, the 18th place car, last car in the lead lap right now. He just lapped Scott Stenzel. Question is, can Fuller do anything with this 30 car? Oh, he slides up the track. I mean, Macklin could beat himself here, and Fuller could get the run. Ten laps to go. Fuller looking to go to victory lane for the first time this season. Macklin, as I mentioned, won the Daytona race at the end of June. Going to get 2 of his last 3 races here. Coleman did get ahead of Eric Arnold, by the way. Bob Gillerwater put pressure on back there for 9th as we watch Fuller. I thought he was going to get a run off that corner there. Not able to do so yet. Did Macklin burn the tires up? Very tight here for the lead. Fuller looking, not able to get there yet. Let's jump back here real quick. Everything looks calm here for this battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, so we'll keep an eye on that also. There's battles everywhere. I like to keep track. Fuller got a little loose there, jumped on the brakes after the 30 touched the brakes. You don't want to get in the back of him. Here he comes. He's got him run to the inside here. 30 kind of parked it in the corner, kind of stalled his momentum. David Comstock is the car they're coming up on, that 13. Fuller, or Macklin's caught the mic, said, hey, can I just have the bottom, please? What he wants. So let's see. Actually, never mind. Comstock going to the bottom. I misheard the audio. But either way, David, great job there of getting out of the way of the leaders, letting them race here. Going to come to 5 laps to go. He's there. Oh, big loose. Both of them get loose and hit each other almost. Fuller sliding up, trying to push him up the track a little bit. Macklin holding his groove. Both of them again loose off two. Oh, they got close. I'm not sure if they actually hit there. That was Macklin at the line by about a front fender. Oh, Fuller got loose. That's going to hold him up here a second. He's got to regroup. Does Fuller dare go to the bumper? Does he dare get to the rear and push him? Oh, Macklin got loose. That could hurt him. Fuller sends it to the inside. As they hit 2 laps to go. I mean, they're doing everything but lean on each other here. Fuller loose off the corner. You can see him sideways. They are coming up on the lap car of Beasley, but I think he's too far ahead still, so I don't think he's going to play a factor here as they come to the white flag. Final lap from New Hampshire. Who wants the virtual lobster? Macklin kind of blocking the lane from Fuller where he was trying to go. Fuller doing everything but put the bumper to him. Sends it in. Macklin pushes up the track, leaves some room for Fuller. Drag race off 4. Here they come to the line. Not going to happen. Macklin, second win in 3 races. Brian Macklin starts third, kind of hangs out until the end of the race and makes his moves, and late pit stop with him and Fuller holds off Justin to win this race and get a second win in 3 weeks and win at the Magic Mile. We're hearing some people say, hey, I wish you'd ridden here more, and others like, no. I had no problem with it. Justin ran them clean. Credit to both those drivers for running clean. I mean, there was a couple times I thought they were going to hit each other. But they did what they had to do. Now, one car we happened to miss out on. I'm not sure what happened to him. But Pedro Mojica finishing in the 11th position here. What happened to Pedro? Let's see if I could find Pedro's situation here, but something has happened to Mojica to where he finished in the 11th position. I'm trying to get to the end of this race here. It had to have happened at the last minute here. Stand by and I'll try to find... Oh, right here. Did him and Callentoni come together? Oh, no, look at this. Did the old New Hampshire wall grabber grab Mojica? Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, what a tough break for Mojica. He falls all the way back to 11. Something happened to Callentoni, too. Or did he just stop, maybe? Oh, yeah, he just come to a stop. So, all right. So, unfortunately for Pedro, rough finish there to what was going to be a good night for him. As Macklin wins this thing, second win of the season. As Macklin wins it by, it says a 10th. It seemed like a lot closer than that. Over Fuller, Tommy Ryan, third. Chad Coleman, Tyler Dalton gets the top 5 finish. Chad Coleman, fourth, as I mentioned. Jimmy Coleman, sixth. Eric Arnold, seventh. Bob Gillenwater gets eighth. Kevin DeBrown, 9. Chuck Sweeting, a top 10 for him. And there's Pedro in the 11th position. Josh Adams, 12th. Mike Kelly, Anthony Callentoni, and Randy Oakham finishing in a 15th position. Richard Beasley, the last car in the lead lap, in 16th. 17th is David Comstock, Glenn Campbell 18th, Scott Stenzel, Charles Woods, and Gerald Livingston 21st with Tom Dreiling, Jeff Ryan, Brian Wortman, Doug Sigmund, Ron Holyfield, Joey Jatina, and John Mustin Jr. finishing in the 28th position. Fantastic racing tonight here from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, as the top 2 have entered up in the waiting room. But let's get our third place finisher here, Tommy Ryan, who did a great job, kept his car consistent throughout the night at 99. Tommy, congratulations as you get yourself a top 3 finish here this evening at New Hampshire.
Yeah, that was man, that was a blast. A lot of fun, man. I'm over here just freaking sweating like crazy. It was work, but man, it was the sort of fun work, we'll call it.
Anything you could have done different in this race? Anything you kind of look back at, it's like, man, I wish I'd have done this different to get that win? Or is that one of those where you knew these two had it covered?
I guess maybe if I stayed out longer, because I felt like I was making ground on the long run, and guys were pitting around me, and it was just really tough to pass, and I was just hard to judge when the right time to pit is, because if the caution comes out or something, then you're really screwed. So I just took a chance, and I was like, well, I know Chad had pitted, and he was right behind me, so I know he's going to leapfrog, and man, it was just tough.
Well, it's still a great run, though. Great third place finish. Good points night for you when it's over with. So that 99 looking pretty sporty in the top 3 as you go to Pocono next week, and your chance to shout out whoever you like.
Yeah, Virginia811.com and northerntool.com. And you guys, the captain putting this thing on, and Joey for putting up with all the childish. So we're good.
Yeah, I might have heard somebody F-bomb me a little bit ago during the race. That was kind of funny, actually. Great job tonight.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
You too, buddy. Tommy Ryan finishing in the third position this evening, as Justin Fuller joins us. Second place finish for him in the 51. Justin, what a great run. Great finish there with you and Brian. I could see you doing everything you could do without moving them out of the way. But you got to be proud after starting back in the 6th position to be able to work your way up as quick as you did and compete.
Yeah, I absolutely love this place. What a race, what a track. I wish we could race here more often than we do. It's a shame that we don't. We had one yellow tonight, good crowd, and a good clean race. That was a lot of fun. I screwed up qualified 6th a little bit, but I wasn't too worried about it. I knew long run speed and tires would definitely come into a play tonight, so that worked out in my favor for sure. But that was a lot of fun.
Gonna ask, obviously you and Brian pitted at the same lap when that happened. I actually made the comment during the broadcast, and I'm like, I wonder if Justin would regret that. Do you feel like maybe you should have pitted a lap before, a lap later, something like that to kind of counter Brian, or were you comfortable with the move you made there?
No, so Brian and I are teammates actually.
Oh, okay.
And I told him, I was asking him a couple laps prior to that. I was like, what do you want to do? Do we want to play this game, try and go, who's going to go the longest here to have the best tires at the end? Or do you want to pit on the same lap? Because I felt like if we would have done that, we had about 15 laps. We could have gone longer. And I feel like if we did that, we would have lost another 10, 12 seconds to those guys. And I'm not sure we would have ever made that gap up, because the tires really start to even out after a while. So we kind of both agreed we'll just pit on the same lap. We'll just race it straight up with each other, and that's how it ended up working.
Well, it was a great race to watch, man. Happy for both of you guys. Great finish, second place tonight. And your chance to shout out whoever you like to.
Thanks to you putting on the broadcast. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch this tomorrow at work. What an absolute barn burner of a race, man. That was a blast. I have never had so much fun in my life, I think, sim racing. And that's saying a lot because I've been doing this for a long time. Thanks to the Ford Entertainment Group for sponsoring the series, Joe Gattino and all the Edmonds, if I wonder what they do. Thanks to Brian. Thanks to all the people that raced tonight. Thanks to Trey Edson for keeping me looking good out here. I know my car doesn't look like anything tonight. You know, it's just a plain black car, but that's okay. Thanks to Trey anyway. I'm not sure how many more of these races I'm gonna run, but that was a blast tonight. So if there's more flat track, if there's another flat track, you got to use the brakes and actually wheel it and make, you put a little bit of sweat on your back like I did tonight. I'll most likely be there.
Pocono's kind of flat.
That's a speedway though. We'll agree to disagree on that one because it's a lot of throttle.
I was actually more joking. We obviously know it's not flat. I mean, it's own monster over there. So, hey, great job tonight, man. Great second place.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, sir. Justin Fuller finishing in the second position as we get the winner up here for a second race in 3 weeks. But let's be fair, he didn't even run last week, so technically it's a second win in a row for when he showed up. So Brian, great job, man. I know you kind of started third, you hung back a little bit, and just when that time came in that long run, it was like your tires showed up.
Yeah, man. I love this racetrack. Obviously, I'm running a select schedule in this series. I don't race every week, so I pick and choose the races that I feel like I have a pretty good shot at, tracks that I really enjoy racing at, and this was definitely one on the schedule that I was looking forward to. And I don't know, something about this track, I'm always so good on the long run. And I saw the first run, I saw Fuller and Pedro and Tyler just kind of like driving off into the sunset. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to let you guys do your thing. And then they started coming back to me. We had that caution. And I was like, I'm going to do the exact same thing on this run. And it took a little bit longer than I expected to catch them and pass them, but I knew that it was eventually going to pay off, and it finally did.
And of course, we got to talk about that finish. I asked Justin if he regretted maybe not pitting at the same lap. Then he kind of shared the secret that you two kind of work together and teammates and stuff like that. But was there any worry that you were faster on the long run and maybe he would eventually get you for that win?
Well, I knew that Fuller was going to be right there when it mattered the most. Fuller's one of the best drivers in this league, and I've raced with him for a long time. And I just want to say, and I'm sure he probably said it too, there's very few people that you can race that hard with and know that you can get away with it. Justin Fuller's one of those guys that I know I can race with like that, and I can get away with it. We ran so hard and so aggressive with each other, but we never hit each other one time, and that's what it's all about. But as far as the tires, yeah, we decided to work together on that, just to kind of make sure that it was going to be one of us that ended up winning the race. We didn't want to, potentially screw each other and then one of the other guys get the win. But he adjusts so well in a race, and he saw that I was quicker than him on that long run. And he made some adjustments after we pitted, and he was able to be a lot better later into the run at the end of the race. So I knew that was going to happen, but, man, that was just awesome.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations to you and Justin on a top two, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, I got to thank you for doing the broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch this one. I think this is probably going to be the one I'm going to enjoy watching the most. Got to thank all the sponsors here at Sim 500 that make this happen. Without them, we're not racing every night. It's just awesome. Got to thank the American Lung Association for being on the car, and also got to thank Trans-Service Logistics. They're not the primary that I run on Sundays when I do show up, but they are my primary sponsor on Monday nights. So I got to give them a shout out as well. And all the admins here at Sim 500. Without them, again, just like the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Well, great job tonight. Go celebrate. Go enjoy the broadcast. I did the best I could, and we'll talk next time I see you on track.
Hopefully the next time you see me, it'll be 3 in a row.
There you go. I like it. Nice job, Brian.
Yep, have a good one, man.
Absolutely, too, buddy. Brian Macklin, winner tonight here at the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Congratulations to him. Justin Fuller, Tommy Ryan, and the rest of the guys for a fantastic race here this evening. And, of course, was the Ford Entertainment Group Xfinity Series, and I want to give them another mention real quickly as they specialize in 3,500 PCs built for sim racers and sim flight pilots. All FEG PCs come with a front-to-back warranty on every part, as well as free labor. Everything is covered PC. So congratulations to him. As I look at some of the guys that finished up towards the front, of course, there's Josh Adams on the lead lap, Chad Coleman on the lead lap, Chuck Sweeting on the lead lap, Pedro Mojica lead lap. So not going to see any change in the laps as they run for the Fanatec CSL Direct Drive wheel. So that's going to be an interesting battle when it gets to the final race of the season at Phoenix. But next week, as I said, it's Pocono Raceway. we'll take a trip to the honeymoon capital of the world in the Pocono Mountains next week for that race. Should be a lot of fun. I think it's 60 laps, so it's going to be a short but eventful race there at Pocono. So looking forward to getting out there in the FEG Xfinity series next week. A big shout out to, again, Brian Macklin on the win. Big shout out to FEG for sponsoring the series. Big shout out to Joey Jatina and the crew, Jimmy Coleman, you guys, for allowing me to broadcast here on the Captain Esports Network with the Sim 500 League. Looking forward to more things to come. And, of course, to all the viewers, appreciate you guys for joining us as I head out. Always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!